Try again.
Welcome, guys, to 50
Hey,
Shades of Green Divas.
and
I am the
Divas.
new one, or I said I'm a diva. This is Malcolm Berman. Maxine?
I am Green Diva Max, and we have Green Dude Peter Carolini,
Hi,
and
everyone.
he is a green dude. He's been anointed for sure because he does so much care about the environment and all things green. So welcome to the 50 Shades of Green Divas Zoomcast, because usually we do podcasts, but now we're doing these Zoom things. So it's new. It's all new to me. It's all new.
Yeah, it's new to me also. I've been, as we were talking earlier, I've been in terrestrial radio for years, producing shows, selling shows. Then I got into bartering shows, doing my own podcast, just audio. And then all of a sudden I found Zoom. Now I have my own studio in my house.
See?
Modern age.
That's great.
But I've been involved with these guys for a while, and we're losing you, Peter.
Got Peter back. It's okay.
Yeah, the thing is, we were talking about what has to happen is there has to be a youth movement, in this whole and this whole environmental thing. Because again, I'm only going to be around for another 40, 50 years. I don't expect to live much over 100. So we have to leave it over to the youth. I mean, I have two boys, 24, 25, and I think you're 25?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you're the guys that are going to be taking over, is going to be doing the fighting, because you're going to have to live in this world.
Yeah.
And I remember when they were saying, 2050, something's going to happen, it's going to change. And as I see in the, especially this year, I'm out in California, in Los Angeles.
Oh, God.
We burnt more than 4 million acres. It's more than the other highest total, I think, was in 2018. We burned 1.8 million acres. Now it's over 4 million, and the season didn't start yet.
Right. It's usually like in November, December, it starts up. This started, and temperatures being the highest they've been in recorded, time. I mean, it was 130 degrees in Death Valley. It was 121 degrees in Woodland Hills.
Yeah.
Which we mentioned before.
And 105 degrees in Sherman Oaks, where I live.
Yeah, I mean, today we're I'm happy to be in New York. How about you, Peter?
Yeah. God, I can't even imagine. Like, it's the clear sign possible. Like, what else do we need to convince everyone to hop on board?
Well, that's up to you. Yeah. Tell us a little of your background. I know sorry, Max, I'm stepping on you.
Yeah. Well, we definitely want to talk about youth. We definitely want to talk about Peter's experiences. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of great youth out there, from Greta to Alexandra Villasenor. There's amazing kids out there. There's a lawsuit called Juliana versus the U.S., Our Children's Trust, where they're suing the government, saying they are entitled to clean air, land, and water. Huh? Yeah, I think we all are.
Good. I'm glad that's still going.
It's still going. There's been a lot of ups and downs in the case, but they're still moving. I mean, they got a decision, then they appealed, then they got another decision. It's being just drawn out as far as it could be drawn out. And but the kids are still wanting to take it as far as they can take it.
What's the basis of the case? Do you know, Maxine? I'm fairly new to this.
Well, it's really simple. As I just said, these 21 kids are ranging in ages from like 8 to 20. I mean, now they're older because it's been going on for a few years. There's this organization called Our Children's Trust, and the attorney in that organization filed suit against the federal government on behalf of the children saying that they have inalienable rights to clean air, land, and water, and the U.S. government is failing to provide that. And so they, went forth, and the Trump administration tried to stop it. Then they won that they can do it, and then it's going on and on, and it would take a million years to describe. But it's just basically a basic, tenet of we have rights to be able to live in the future and have clean air to breathe and water that's clean to drink and land that's free and clear of toxic things, and our us and our children and their children. I mean, this is for generations to come, and so they want to see what happens, that this becomes a guaranteed right, as if it shouldn't be a guaranteed right already. So
yeah,
that's it. I mean, but it's still going forward. We'll see what happens. Stay tuned.
yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm wondering, legally, does the air belong to anybody? Or does the water belong to anybody?
Yeah, it belongs to the collective community. I mean, sure it does. Why wouldn't it?
I have no idea.
If we can pollute it, then we are
partaking
in its destruction. So why wouldn't we be in part trying to save it?
I mean, and it's been done. Look at the 70s. New York City air was nigh unbreathable. And so action was taken, efforts were made, and now arguably you could walk through Midtown and have your lungs feel okay.
Well, I'm a native New Yorker, and during the 70s, I had a summer place, or rented a summer place in Fire Island. And I remember driving back on the Long Island Expressway, on a Sunday night or Sunday, driving back into Manhattan. And when I got a view of Manhattan, there was a dark cloud over it.
My God.
And that was the pollution. Yeah. Fire Island, thank God, had fresh air.
Yeah.
Same thing. You can see the air in LA. You can see the air. You can see it. You can see the smoke.
Awful.
In West Coast now.
Well, as I understand, in LA, before I got here in '77, but before I got here, supposedly the air was unbreathable, and they did a emissions control for all the cars, and it brought the levels way down. Except now Trump wants to get rid of the emissions control. So I don't understand that. But Peter, it's up to you guys to start fighting.
No, we're doing all we can. We just hope that it's such a unified movement, because I think there's anything my entire generation agrees on, no matter what side of the political spectrum you're on, it's that we need to fight for the environment, and climate change is a real hard issue that is existing, that threatens their futures, that's already putting most of my generation to question about even having kids, because why raise someone in a world where the air quality is going? But that's incentive. And there's so many amazing movements happening right now, and I think the more pressure put on, the better. When they see, when most of the older administrations, when most of these governors, Republicans and Democrats, look at Gavin Newsom, he's been fighting clean energy forever. I think once they see, this problem isn't going away, then that'll force change, because I think it's past the point where, we can politely say, hey, here's this diagram of what's happening, or here's this kind of, here's what needs to be changed, because it's not going to be changed, because, we've been lied to for the past decades, and that'll continue. But again, I see people my age, being clean, being sustainable is no longer seen as either a hippie issue or a kind of like, they're just overreacting. It's seen as a necessary measure to live. And if I've always said, with that hopefully comes corporate accountability, because we can recycle all we want, we can eat vegan all we want, as long as if we're not pushing the fight to that shift for clean energy, if we're not demanding and protesting and asking for change, then what's the point?
So you were recently in a protest, and
I
you
was.
where Black Rock in Park Avenue, that headquarters.
Jason Blackrock.
So how did you get word of the protest happening, and then like how did you then decide, okay, I'm gonna go all in with this?
So, answering the first question, when we finished our drawdown event, I was eager to get back into like, the active sphere, the legislation, that kind of more hardcore, and giving it your all activism. Not to say what we were doing wasn't incredibly important, and I'm super proud of the work Maxine and I did on drawdown. We kicked ass.
It was a wonderful event. Peter was awesome. Here's the
thank you.
Book, which has solutions that are actually in play now to really help reduce our carbon emissions. And Peter, you were awesome. So
last week we had Ellie Lesson.
Ellie on last week.
Ellie.
He knows Ellie well.
So anyway, those listening to us, go to last week's show because it's still on MalcolmPresents.com. Well, all the back shows are. Yeah, but anyway.
Okay, Peter, back to you. So you wanted to get back into the fray, and then what happened?
I don't want to rest my laurels and be like, all right, I've done all I can. Right. So I got an invite to that event from 350 NYC, who I've been volunteering with since January, and who without would not have let me to either help with that webinar that I did at the UN for Green Week or do the Project Drawdown thing. So I have 350 to thank for everything.
Right, that's a good group. Yep.
Yeah, for sure. So then I headed there. And halfway, or they were like, hey, we'll need you to hold up the chant. I was like, that's fine, I could do that. We walked up the chase. Now, this was my first environmental demonstration, and I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of terrified.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I was shaking holding that banner, but then when you see that, you're like, oh, okay, there's nothing to be afraid of. We are well within our rights. We're doing this soundly with caution. We're not inciting violence or anything. And I've always said, I read a quote somewhere where it was like, the environmental movement has to be peaceful because we are fighting here because we have a love of all living things. That's why we're environmentalists, because the smallest stand is as important as the tallest redwood tree. And I'm a firm believer in that. And then halfway through, they handed me the megaphone. I was like, what?
Oh boy.
Yeah, I was like,
talk.
Jeez. Yeah, but then it kept going. I was like, oh yeah, okay, I'm getting the hang of this. And I was there with such a great group, New York Communities for Change, with 350, with I believe there was someone from Sunrise there. Don't quote me on that, but I know it was a conglomerate of groups, and young and old. And that was the beautiful thing. I was standing next to this woman in her 70s, and I said, we're not here without them. The young people aren't here without the wisdom of those older than us who have been doing this for God knows how long.
Yeah, I'm with you because I was at the big climate march in 2014, and everyone was there, politicos, celebrities.
Wow.
I met I got some sound bites from the Many Shades of Green show, which I still have floating in here. And I got Mark Ruffalo. I asked them what's your shade. What's your shade of green was my thing I asked a lot of people. So I get Mary Robinson. He was president in Ireland. I go, what's your shade of green? And she goes, Ireland has the best. She gave me and then I got Mark Ruffalo. His was a deep shade of green. And I had and I got Schumer. Senator Schumer. But the one that impressed me the most was this woman with a contingency of elders from Sweden. Okay?
Beautiful.
Came all the way from Sweden to march. So I asked, what are you doing here? Why are you here? She goes, my grandchildren and their children and their children.
Right.
Was phenomenal. And the people who were there were from every walk of life. There was 500,000 people there.
Oh
and
God.
That's the first time I was ever in a rally or march that I looked up and I saw drones, which scared the hell out of me.
When was this?
This was it was in the city. It was primarily on Central Park West, and then it went down through down on 6th or 5th down to the Javits Center. So it went from the 80s on Central Park West down to the Javits Center. And and it was peaceful. And at that point, you didn't fear you were going to get your head busted, because now I would fear. And when you said you were doing the protest, I was like, please let Peter be fun. He will be.
Thank you.
But it's a little dicier now than it was back then.
I saw 6 police vans pull up to it, and I was like, really? Like, this is who they're hired to protect, a bank against 10 people.
Right. Well, yeah. But I'm glad there was police there, though. I mean, I don't think they were going to do it. I think they were there probably more to keep an eye, make sure it was safe, more than the bank. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, we protested in front of the bank. We went to Chase on Park Avenue, and then we went up to Black Rock. Is that what you did too?
Yes.
When you say Black Rock, what is Black Rock?
Black Rock. Go ahead, Peter. It's a corporation, I don't know.
Because they used to call Black Rock the CBS building on 52nd Street and 6th.
They're an investment group, and and they've been financing a lot of fossil fuels, a lot of coal. And unlike Chase, at least they have more say in who they can invest in and who they not. So when they're investing in fossil fuels and coals, that's much more of a black and white issue. That's all right. We're choosing to invest in fossil fuels, even when we know renewables have been more than ready enough to be launched. And I forget where it was. Pete Sikora, who is a New York City Communities for Change member, he shared that, I forgot what, there's a finance term I can't quite remember, but basically for the first time in ever, a solar group has passed ExxonMobil. A renewable energy has passed it on list of profitable or something like that. Can't remember the term.
See, a problem with a lot of this whole movement, the people who are against it sort of make fun of it, because they think, oh yeah, you're not going to cut down the forest because you have this little bug that might be extinct, where they exaggerate. They don't say what what happens when you cut down forests and when you use fossil fuel and when it becomes too hot to live. They think we're just, the environmentalists are just saving the little bug or the little snake or a little something that, you don't know the importance of. But
exactly. And, and that's why, I've been, whenever I'm called the tree hugger, I'm like, you know what? Yes, I am. And
me too. I say the same thing.
Yeah.
And there are videos of me hugging trees. Really.
Amazing.
I mean, I've done that.
And, I've always said too, I believe in positive encouragement. I think there are some people whose minds will not be changed. And, those are the kind of people will be opposing in courts, in the streets, and finance and everything. But I really genuinely believe there are a lot of people whose minds can be changed and who just don't know, who have never been taught that catastrophic chain of the ecosystem. You kill that ant, you take away that rat's food, the rat dies out, you take away the predators, and then just total complete collapse. I worked with a kid from Long Island earlier this year who genuinely had no idea about the delicacy of it. He said, what really happens that's so bad if I toss a can into the woods? And I sat down and told him the kid didn't eat meat for 3 days out of the week.
Wow.
And I was like, there are people who change their mind, but we will not get anywhere without education and thorough persuasion. And just demonstrating to people simply what happens, because again, it comes down to education too. We're not taught in school, hey, look, you should be converting the solar, or hey, look, kill that ant, this is what happens. Oh, or look, a logging company moves in, it's fine. This is what's going to happen.
Right. They don't know it. When they hear it from you, I think.
Yeah.
As opposed to me or Malcolm even. They listen because you're closer, to them in age, and you have more experience, obviously, and you can give that information, which is awesome. I mean, we should have, there's a Peace Corps. There should be an an Eco Corps.
Right. I would join that in a heartbeat.
There should be. I mean, I'm going to suggest that to the Biden people. I was thinking about it, and I started to write something up. But at this point, I think we have to go full out with something like that.
Oh, God, yeah.
And since you can't go to, right now, who knows with this pandemic where it's going to lead to in terms of online schooling. At this point, if you're going to take a year off before you go to college, and this isn't a few years down the line, do this, do the eco tours. What we have, like, what was it, John Liu we had on the Drawdown? He does the
great guy.
Right. I mean, it's out there. See, everything is already out there.
Yes.
It's a question, as you say, of education.
Of education.
Messaging it.
Right. I think just to be practical, what you have to show, especially with the fossil fuels, you have to show that there's a business and an industry that could take over the fossil fuels, and we're not going to go broke. There are going to be jobs. It's not going to cost us a fortune. If we got rid of oil, if we got rid of coal, and we started doing, a green energy, which hopefully, the Green New Deal will show people that, or show the population that they're not losing money. They're not going to be paying exorbitant prices for power. They're going to get
jobs away.
Drawdown. You see this? Yeah. It's already occurring. Yeah. Green jobs are occurring. All money, profits are being made in wind and solar. It's here.
And if anything,
not here.
Yeah, the pushback from the fossil fuel industry is good because it shows that it's working. Right. It's shown that they're in such opposition because there is an alternative. Right. That alternative exists. I think of the email. In the email, you said, "What was your aha moment?" And I was thinking about that on this drive I was on today, and I realized there really was none. And I think for a lot of us, it's not so much aha moments as it is aha existence.
Right.
We look at everything, we're like, this is the only choice. And it's almost just kind of built, we're left with this. A lot of the youth are left with this to shoulder, and they're rising to the occasion. They're realizing, all right, we must adapt. It's not a question of alternative as much as it is adaptation. And especially, and like Malcolm, what you were saying with the practicality too, again, you look to other countries, and the fact that, especially because no industry wants to hear that there's an alternative for them. They don't want to hear that they're obsolete. And I said too, I read this quote once where it was like profits aside, imagine stepping down and being responsible for helping save the planet. And I quote, this was a quote, wouldn't that be so baller?
Yeah.
And I'm like, that would be so baller.
Right, absolutely. Yeah. You just, again, it's back to, people seeing around them what's happening. They're living the pandemic.
And the problem is, the problem is it's not so far in the future. The future is now, because you keep on getting the reports from the ice caps in Greenland. They're going much faster because of the heat. Right. And I think they predicted like another maybe 20 years, which a lot of the major cities will be underwater. I mean, it's happening, and it's happening now. It's not something that you're reading. Like you have the show Dawn of Tomorrow. It's not tomorrow. It's around the corner. It's not the future. It's now.
Yeah.
Right. What is your show about? I mean, when you started this podcast, just give us a little bit about it.
Oh, yeah. So a little bit of backstory. In 2012, I wrote a script, like a sci-fi adventure kind of thing, almost like Indiana Jones in space kind of thing. Worked on it for years. Then I realized I'm like, all right, 25, like, or I started when I was 24. I was like, I'm 24. I'm not going to probably get a budget for this for a while, even though it's been fun to write. But I was like, oh, since it's like a retro futuristic kind of world, it would be really cool to do a radio show set in that world. And I was like, I can give voice actors money. I can help artists do this, collaborate with friends, and do it completely safe. So in summation, it's a retro futuristic late night radio show set in the future in 2156.
Get onto it. How do I hear it?
I can send you the link. It's on Spotify. It's on iTunes.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, as we talk, I'd love to get it on Malcolm Presents.
I would love to do that too, and I would be incredibly grateful.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll chat also because there's other outlets too. Because
oh yeah.
That's is it like a serial radio? Like it's episodes, right?
Yeah, it is episodic, but like the current events are serialized, and I'm hosting it. I talk in my old transatlantic voice like this, and each season will take place in different year where there's like a current event going on in the galaxy.
We have a talented NYU. He's a Tisch film and TV and theater. What did you specialize in at NYU?
Film and television, writing and directing, which
okay.
The pandemic has not made easy to delve into that.
not right now, but you're working with someone that I know and that is also wonderful. Emily at Earth Angel. Could you just briefly tell us a little bit about that? Just what it is?
Yeah. So my day job pretty much is for a company called Earth Angel, which specializes in keeping film and television sets clean and sustainable and zero waste, because entertainment generates a lot of waste. And by generating a lot of waste, they generate a lot of emissions. So, like I said, I've been an environmental activist, I'd say, since about 2014, since I was, I'd say about 18. And then, I graduated, I was looking for a job in the industry, but I was also looking for some, like, to continue my passion, because I was like, it's got to be either or. I can't have the time to do both. And voila, I saw that and joined it, and it's been wonderful. My own supervisor on set. I'm doing a great thing. We donate all the leftover catering, feed a couple thousand people. That's awesome. Probably more in the year. That's just like per season, and it's wonderful. And I can't ask for more.
Are they starting more? Are they doing more filming and shooting in the city now?
Yeah, I'll be starting on a show in November.
Okay. But Marvelous Mrs. Maisel is not till what they put it off till January. I read somewhere.
Oh, that probably, because that show depends on its ginormous background extras.
Sure, I know. There's
yeah, Peter. In case we reach a youth audience or an old audience that wants to join or become active in a movement, can they reach you or any of the organizations? Is there email or contact numbers?
You could definitely reach me. I'd love to. It would be an honor to point people in the right direction, because every different organization, I've realized, serves a different purpose, which is great. Like 350 is more legislature and on the ground activism, but that was where I really got to like, and I was, this is how we help pass bills. This is how we help get in front of a senator. So yeah, you could reach me on my email. You could reach me
also.
What's up?
You're going out, Maxine. Your audio is going out.
My audio's going out?
Oh, yeah, you were quiet.
That's weird. I didn't touch anything. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I could hear you, but it's...
Yeah.
Could be my internet.
But anyway, what is your email address so they could contact you if they're interested?
It is p.carolini@gmail.com, and I will spell that out. p.carelini@gmail.com.
Now, I always do this. What is the derivation of that name? What is Italian, Spanish, or
Sicilian.
Sicilian? Ah,
yeah.
So you must have liked to watch Mr. Francis Ford Coppola's movies.
Oh, 100%. I'm not gonna lie. Like, we went to Sicily last year to meet up with some long lost family, and
wow,
it was amazing. And I was like, The Godfather Part 2 has truly prepared me for this moment.
I'm sure.
And the closest I got,
I didn't get to Sicily, but
the closest I got to any of that is my cousin Karen was the wife of Henry Hill from the Goodfellas.
Oh my God!
So that wedding that they had in the Goodfellas, I was there.
What?
But I didn't realize who any of the people were.
Your cousin's Karen Friedman?
Yeah.
Wow. Wait, that's incredible.
Well, it's always a 6th degree of separation.
Right.
I mean,
well, like before Henry passed away, he was interviewed on one of the talk shows. I forget which one, Carson or one of the shows. And they asked him, they said, Henry, aren't you afraid of, stepping out, of being so much in the open? That they still have the hit after you. And he said, not really. He said, I get calls from them and they want to do lunch. And they say, hey, Henry, I have a script. How can I get it produced?
He's in the witness. His whole thing is he's in the witness protection.
Right.
That's really funny. Wow, I didn't know that until now either. The things you learn when you chat.
The things you learn. But anyway, guys, believe it or not, I think we've done over half hour.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
We got to give our outro. Any closing thoughts there, Peter?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like I said, there's a movement. There are people who believe in the same cause you do. They are, even if they're not close by, they are out there. There are more avenues than ever to connect. There are more ways now to fight than ever, and keep educating people. Keep searching for the truth. Be pragmatic. I always believe in is this too good to be true? Especially with a cause that depends on finding an alternative. Mm-hmm. Be smart, be pragmatic, be optimistic. And
we need to have some optimism in there that will fix all this and will adapt and be resilient. So go to like 350.org for information. Go to the Climate Reality Project.
0 Hour.
Right.
Extinction Rebellion.
Movement. Right.
Yeah. Sunrise Movement. Mm-hmm. And to all my fellow youth, I think the earth has mobilized and we will mobilize too. And with the guidance and wisdom of those who have fought before us and are fighting now, I think we can all do this. I think it's never been more unified. And, if the pushback is severe, that means we're getting somewhere.
Yep. Thank you very much, Peter. And
thank you guys.
Anytime you want to come on to give a message, let us know. Contact us and we'll have you come aboard.
Okay.
I would love that. This has been, I can't thank you guys enough for this experience.
Yeah, because again, this might go out to 2 people, it might go out to 2 million people, because we're available internationally.
We know it goes out to cyberspace, but after that, we're not sure. We're just starting to do this, and we thank you for coming. Being a part of this early on, and it's MalcolmPresents.com. It's the 50 Shades of Green Divas, the greendivas.com, and the many shades of green.com. So,
and we'll see you. We'll see you guys next week. Bye. Wave goodbye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye, Peter.
Take care. Thank you guys.
Bye.
You're awesome.
Bye,
guys.
We're out.
Thank you, man.